So today I watched this in Dolby and in IMAX 3D. I do have my concerns about 4DX. Hi there, guys. Thank you for coming to CINEMABEAR. My name is Eric Ortiz, and let's just get right into it. Deadpool Wolverine is probably the most anticipated movie of this year, just because I wanted to see Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman play these characters in a proper film. The long and short of the plot is that Deadpool's world is at risk, and he needs Wolverine's help. And that's as much as I want to get into it. No spoilers. Like, if you're a comic book fan in particular, go into this movie as, clean slate as humanly possible, because there are so many surprises here and so many winks and nods to the universe, multiple universes, that I think there's a lot to be gained just going in there as blind as possible. In terms of the directing, I really appreciate what Shawn Levy did here, which was make you feel as if you're not just watching a Deadpool movie or a Wolverine movie, but a movie that actually incorporates both of them. This doesn't look like the other Deadpool films, nor does it look like any of the Wolverine movies. It's kind of like establishing a new universe with these characters, and it works. It's not dark and gloomy, and it's not overly vibrant. In many ways, it does feel very much like a comic book. The colors are clean, they're sharp. There's not a lot of shadow, but I do appreciate that when shadow is presented, you get that that sense of depth, and when things are moody, they're properly moody. It's a well-balanced film in terms of directing. It never gets too grotesque with the violence. The violence is always with a wink and a nod. The violence really goes, far out there in terms of making you want to laugh at just how insane it gets. And, the language is going to be what it's going to be. The action is not as dynamic as I was hoping for. Shawn Levy is not an action director. He's competent when it comes to action. But the action with the dialogue and with the performances is just very well, presented here. And Shawn Levy's worked with both Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, and now he's working with both of them in this film. So it's clear to see they have a good working relationship, and it's clear to see that on camera. And speaking of what's on camera, it's the chemistry between Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. This movie could have been 4.5 hours long, and just having these two guys talk to each other and still be entertaining. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad it's just a 2-hour movie. But seeing them, not just the fight scenes they're fun, they're cool, but just them arguing. If you've ever seen the film 48 Hours with Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy, side note, Nick Nolte in his younger age would have been a damn cool Wolverine, and Eddie Murphy would have been a horrible Deadpool. That said, it's very much that in this film. These guys are constantly at each other, where Deadpool won't shut up, and Wolverine is constantly dragging Deadpool to their goal. And it doesn't feel forced, from our perspective. It doesn't feel as if they're deliberately trying to stretch things out. It feels like these guys are getting to know each other, and they're getting to know what they don't like about each other. But within that conflict, you get to see what they appreciate about one another. Yeah, that's as far as I'll go with it. I will say that the cameos that you've heard of or might think they're not just cameos. They're actually characters within the arc of the story, which was awesome. The reaction in the theater when some of these characters appeared was fantastic. If you're in a crowd of people that love comic book films, you're gonna be in heaven, because this movie just kind of gives you a lot of what you want to see in these films. Very much how Spider-Man No Way Home brought back some characters that you really loved and appreciated. This movie does that too. I mean, not everything's perfect here. I really did enjoy this movie. That said, it being a multiverse film, and honestly being the third film in this Deadpool franchise, and like the 20-something film officially in the Marvel universe, there are a lot of things pulling at it, a lot of exposition dumps of things that you wouldn't necessarily know about if you weren't invested in the Disney Plus TV shows, which I'm personally not. I never watched the Loki series. I think I saw season 1, pardon me, but a lot of the TV stuff I just don't pay attention to. I just stick to the films, and you can feel as if they're trying to just kind of like shoehorn that in, and it kind of hurts the movie. Still, I had a great time with this. I would say if you're just your average moviegoer or an appreciator of films and want to have a good time, this is it's an entertaining film. You'll have fun, you'll have laughs. Some of the things won't make any sense to you, but it won't matter because it's just a good time. That said, if you're a fan of comic book films in general and you know about the MCU and the DCU and the Spider-Verse and the Foxverse or Mutantverse, this is an excellent film. It's a lot of fun. I would say it's almost like a trifecta of great summer films. I would say Bad Boys Ride or Die, Twisters, and Deadpool Wolverine, primarily because I'm a fan of comic book films and there was just so much there for me to enjoy. And honestly, it's just great to see Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds get to do this film, period. And seeing them on screen, it was a pleasant surprise because not only are they great as these characters, but they're actually great actors. And Ryan Reynolds, one of the screenwriters in this, actually does make the story a little bit more interesting than you would anticipate. The movie does have poignant moments that harken back to the older X-Men films. So yeah, you see one of the great on-screen couples right up there with Steve Martin and Martin Short, or partnerships, a la like Spike Lee and Samuel L. Jackson, or Robert Rodriguez and Antonio Banderas, and I'll montage a whole bunch of people that have worked together over here so that you can get an idea as to just, these guys know each other for such a long time to get to work together on a big film and pretty much, I want to say knock it out of the park, but it is a solid triple. It's a great time at the movies, and that's my honest take on Deadpool and Wolverine. Fun film, great time. If you love comic book films in particular, you're gonna get so much out of this that I can't say much more than that. But I will say thank you very much for coming to CINEMABEAR. I appreciate you guys watching my videos. Please do me a massive favor, hit that subscribe button, like, share, say something nice in the comment section, or don't say something nice, it's the internet, whatever. Thank you very much. Take care. I'll see you for the next one. Bye-bye.